I had done this in years past, and this year I decided after 16 years of not farming that I wanted to farm a little bit, and I wanted to produce a little bit more than what I just wanted. And then I became aware of the farmers market and the vision they had, and I really liked that. And so then I decided to scale it up just a little bit, and we wound up with what we've got out here. But the primary reason was because I just wanted to produce my own produce, and then farmers market idea came along, and I wanted to be a part of what they're doing. Almost self-sufficient on farming on a little small acreage. That's pretty good. The cooperative effort in these last few months since I became a part of Grow Appalachia, and I've met so many wonderful people that are in my neighborhood, but nevertheless, for whatever reason, I was not aware of them, and they were not aware of me, and so this gave us an opportunity to kind of meet each other, and I met some awesome people this morning. I was down on their little farm, and so just the cooperative effort is the most exciting part, watching other people and working with other people. Typically in the past when I have done this, it was just kind of solo and I did it, and now we're exchanging information and ideas and how-tos, and it's really good. It's really fun. And I am so tickled with it. I'll always raise romaine lettuce from now on. You can come out and see. You come back 2 weeks later and it looks like this right here, all over it.
Are you growing anything new this year that you have never done before?
I am actually. I'm growing a handful of things. I've never grown an eggplant before. So I've got eggplant out there. I've never grown romaine lettuce, and I have romaine lettuce out there. I hadn't grown Brussels sprouts. Years past I did a little bit, but I'm so excited about the Brussels sprouts. And of course strawberries is not new to anybody, but they're new to me. I've never raised them before, and I'm really looking forward to strawberries this fall. Well, I'm a dog lover, obviously, and from the time of my earliest childhood, I've had a dog ever since I can remember. And all through my adult life, I've had a personal dog, um, and just because I love them, I love to be with them, I love for them to be with me. And then a few years ago, Jerry and I started raising labs and golden retrievers, Labrador retrievers and golden retrievers, and we had 5 or 6 females, and we loved that. And then we got really, really busy. Pastoral work, I've done that for the last 16 years, but a few years ago, in eastern Kentucky, our area is economically depressed, and it's harder to make a living. We realized we needed a little more economy in our personal lives, and so um, we went back to the dogs, and we started with 4 or 5 dogs, and now we're up to 12 potentially producing females. And it's just because we love them, and it just natural feels good to us, and it's good for us economically. Well, my primary job is I'm a pastor, and I pastor a local church. And so, we do weddings and funerals and services during the week and on the weekends, and so it occupies a pretty large part of my life, plus, when people have issues and all that kind of stuff. So that's a large chunk of my life. But my great-grandfather built the original part of this home in 1883, and I am so blessed. I've been here for 20 years, and I am so blessed to get to live on this land. And so I've been so busy the last 16 years with all these other things that I didn't get to enjoy where I am and being here. And so the dogs and the farming and all that and the chickens and all that kind of stuff gives me an opportunity to just enjoy being here. And that's my excuse. I got to do this stuff. And so yeah.
That's great.
For me personally, now I grew up collecting oral histories, which I learned from one of the Apple Shop filmmakers, and how valuable our own stories are in our backyard. And so anyway, I grew up in that environment, and later on, I was a singer-songwriter, and I wrote a good deal of stuff, and it was about these things. And Stone Acre Run was an album we produced, and it was all about people, places, and things along this region and that kind of thing. And I just became aware of the value of our own stories and our own people. And then knowing the history, in the late 1800s and early 1900s, this was pretty much a self-sustained farm, in which was our people in this area did anyway. I mean, it wasn't unique to this farm; it was all around us. But early in the spring to late in the fall, they farmed like crazy because that's what they lived on till the next year when they farmed like crazy again. And so they knew the value, and I don't know if they thought of it in those terms, but they knew the value of self-sustaining, lifestyles. And so I've always had a great appreciation for what that was in that era. And as times have come around now, it seems it's a good time to be self-sustaining again. And so I'm really excited about, first of all, the tradition and the history and being connected to that, and then the current time that we live in, and our people need good fresh produce and quality food, and I do know that what's produced here in the local area off the farm, it's much better than you can buy at food stores, picked forever and held on to forever. And I won't talk about the negative aspects of that, but the positive aspects of what's locally produced it is so much better and healthier for the people who are going to eat it, and for those of us who are involved in raising it. It's good for you. On the farm, and what a prominent place that it held for the farm.
So what kind of advice would you
I've
give someone
got
to get started?
a friend that's in Ecuador, and it's surprising to me. They have a horse ministry, and but once they located there where they were, they realized, we can't get regular produce, and they realized that how desperately their area need. Now they're doing a self-sustained agricultural based ideas from their farm, but the same truth is true here, and that is we need to be more self-sustained. We need to produce more of our own products in the local region, and that kind of thing. And so extension cord hanging off of it, but that's to put heat. Yeah, it puts heat lamps. It's our heritage. That's where we all came from. We were all agricultural based. We're still agriculture based. We just commercialized it. And so, getting back, getting back to the roots of being agricultural based. Yeah. And so they raised most of what they needed, but they couldn't raise cook stoves and new shoes. And so they ordered that from the Sears and Roebuck catalog, and they would come to Stonehaga, nearest railhead, and so they had to take horses and wagons to go over there and buy the things that they couldn't raise and make for themselves. But in the process of doing that, they always took farm produced whatever, produce and corn and whatever, and traded and bartered for the things that they needed. So, that it was a self-sustaining economy. It wasn't just a self-sustaining farm. It was a self-sustaining economy. They used their products to barter and get the things that they couldn't raise for themselves. So yeah, it has our whole area has that, but this place in particular has that. It's that unique history of being here and providing for yourself from this position. Well, my great aunt lived on this piece of land for the last 50 years with the same man, and she's gone on to be with the Lord. But she told me, knowing that I was going to be the one who would come here and be the quote unquote keeper of the land, and that was going to be an album title for me once upon a time. But But she told me, she said, honey, this land has always provided for the folks who have lived here. And she said, it'll do that for you. So I've been here for all these years, but I'm really just now getting to the point where I'm realizing what she had said, that now this land is providing for me.